Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, I'm the amazing Johnathan, and I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict. And oh, wait a minute, wait. What night is this? Oh shit, wrong place. Let me start over again. I'm the amazing Johnathan, and I'm a drug addict. But I'm in good company. All my heroes were drug addicts. John Lennon, all the best of the Beatles did drugs, and Eric Clapton did drugs, and just about every successful rock band that was great did drugs. Because all in all, it makes you creative. Now, let's look at the list of people who don't do drugs. There's Richard Marx. There's Kenny G. Now, I'm not trying to promote drugs, but who would you rather hang out with? Seriously. Keith Richards, Kenny G. I've been using drugs since I was 16, and my motto has always been, drugs are not the answer. Drugs is the question, and the answer is fuck yes. They've always served my purpose. I looked from within. When I was doing LSD, I kind of invented my character off of this, which is why my act is so divergent from Matt King's act, say. I am to magic what John Wayne Gacy was to clowning. That's not a compliment towards myself either. Now, let me give you an example of how this all started. When I was in high school, very unpopular. It wasn't good. Yeah, shocker. Wasn't good. My grade average was D, and I wasn't a jock, and I needed something to set me apart from everybody else, and that was magic. I wandered into a magic shop, and I bought my first trick, and took it to school, and lied to my physics teacher, which actually caused the best thing that almost ever happened to me. This lie snowballed so huge. Stupid little lie. I told him I could bend a spoon with my mind. And I proceeded to do that. Now, he was so impressed with this, and I've never seen any teacher impressed with anything I've ever done, that I brought myself to tell him when he asked that, yes, I really can do this. It's real. It's not a trick. And I thought, well, that'll be, well, fuck, that's the end of that. No, not at all. The next hour, I got the intercom call, please come to the principal's office. And I'm like, shit, okay, I know why I'm going to the principal's office. And when I walked in, there was the teacher, of course, big mouth, and my parents. They pulled my dad out of work, and a local news reporter from the Macomb Daily, where I lived. And on the desk was a shitload of silverware. Yeah. So my mom immediately takes me aside and said, can you really do this, or are you just fooling everybody with one of your tricks? And I'm like, I looked her right in the eye, right deep into her soul, and said, yes, I can really do this. So now, there's the snowball, huge. And I figured out that if I did this, it's going to come out in the newspaper, and everybody's going to know. All the magicians in the area will tell, oh, he's lying, it's just done with misdirection. You look over there, he bends the spoon over here, you know, and I had to figure a way to get out of it. So, telling the second biggest lie of my life, I told them I didn't want to be a freak in school. I told them I wanted to be a normal kid. I didn't want people coming up to me, looking at me like I was different. And they bought it. They fucking bought it. Seriously, I mean, I've seen people buy some really crazy shit, but remember, this was a simpler time and people were more retarded. You had Uri Geller, who wrote bestseller book. Yeah, he really can do that. And people bought this book from me, and they believed in that kind of stuff. Put food under a pyramid, it'll stay fresher longer. So, that was the tone of the times, but I got out of it. But the best part about this is it leaked. The story leaked. The teacher must have told somebody who told somebody, and everyone in the school knew I had special powers. And so they treated me better. Nobody fucked with me. because I could scan and blow up their head. And it really set me apart, and it showed me what magic could do, how powerful of a tool this could be in the right hands, these not being the right hands. So the thing that killed all this was the high school talent show, where I did the worst show of my entire life, and after that show, I never did a serious magic show in my life. That's not a lie. I quit that night. Yeah, thank you, yeah, thank God. So I did 6 tricks. First of all, I was dressed like the guy from Godspell because I was impressed with that play at the time. So like an asshole, I drew the heart on my forehead, and I had the white face on and the rainbow suspenders, and I looked like a dick. First trick, I was to come out, throw my arms out like this, boom, big explosion, very dramatic. Well, it didn't happen. So I decided he missed my cue, and I did it again. And I did it again, and I kept doing it, and nothing was happening. So to the audience who's watching, they just saw me going like this, thinking I was going to fly or something. I decided, okay, time to move on. Let's just get away from that. Next, I killed a bird. I killed my dove. I had it for 2 years. His name was Christopher. He ran very fast after I dropped him, and I tried to chase him, and boy, they can stop fast. A lot faster than I could. And I ran him over and watched the guts come out of my bird's mouth. And yeah, I know, it was horrible. I cried like a baby. And the next trick, the sword cabinet. Put the girl in the box, you stick the swords in, but I hear, I gotta get out, I got a leg cramp. I'm like, no, stay in there, we're almost done. No, you don't understand. I gotta get out. My legs are cramping up. Because she's like hidden in the base. I shouldn't have told you that. All right, now. Never know when Lance Burton's with his laser scope. All right. So she stands up. The box falls apart. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, smash, smash, because there's 2 with mirrors. Shouldn't have told you that either, but all the mirrors broke. And then it's time to do the levitation. Nothing can go wrong on that, right? You put the girl on the table, you pull the supports out one by one, she's floating on the board, magic. Well, the trick is, and I'm telling you this, and I shouldn't really be telling you this, but you put your leg in front of the metal bar that holds her up, and then you lift the sheet up, and all they see is your leg. Ooh. The sheet was up the whole time. So when I'm walking around doing this, they can see the fucking iron bar. But it confused a lot of people because it was so obvious that they would say, no, he would never fucking do that. That's not how it's done. So that actually fooled people, right? So then, the big closer, and this is all done to Elton John's Funeral for a Friend, right? Picture that. Dick. So, final trick, the guillotine. The blade falls, goes through her neck. She's perfectly fine. Blackout. That's the end of the show. Blade falls. They blackout right away. They don't even see the blade go through the girl's neck. It's totally just blackout right away. So I'm standing in the dark going, I will never, ever do another fucking magic show again in my whole life. And I never did. I went to San Francisco and got really shit-faced and did a lot of sugar cube acid, which really was fun. And it made me see something. It made me see my character more. And I started to street perform, and I met Harry Anderson from Night Court. And he was street performing at the time too, but he was really good, and he was so cocky because he had actually watched me do a street show and taken my stuff. When I went to get a sandwich, he packed all my equipment up and set all his up and was doing a show in my spot. And I was going to kick his ass until I saw how good he was. And then I asked him for help, and he took me under his wing. And from street performing, I went inside to nightclubs and worked with Robin Williams coming up through the San Francisco scene, Dana Carvey. These guys were all my pals. And then I went to LA, and on one show, I did one show in LA, my first show. I got HBO Young Comedian Special, I got David Letterman, and I got the new show that was going to be better than Carson, and that was Thick of the Night. Might have jumped on the wrong bandwagon there. So anyway, after that night, and I did those 3 TV shows, everybody knew who I was, and I started getting great bookings, and I started doing things like David Letterman's show, and then I did HBO, and I did, what else did I do? I did my own Comedy Central specials, 3 of them, I performed in over 100 TV shows. I went around the world a few times. Everything was terrific. I did a game show for Merv Griffin for 65 episodes. I did a show for 2 presidents of the United States. I did one for Reagan while I was stoned on ecstasy. I don't know why. But I figured this might be the fun place to try to do ecstasy for the first time. Secret Service looking at me like, oh man, they knew, they all knew. And they were all doing this shit, right? And I was like, oh God. It was horrible. But what's funny is I got a call from the Secret Service saying, do you want to do the show? And I said no, and I hung up because I thought it was a friend of mine, you know, because he's always doing shit like that. So my agent calls back, what are you doing hanging up on the Secret Service? So it was real. And I went, they said, if you want to do the show, you'll be at the corner of 58th and Broadway at 6 in the morning. No questions asked. You fly there, your own expense. I did it. I'm standing there in the cold. The black van pulls up, door opens, I get in. And inside is Seinfeld and Yakov Smirnoff, and they're freezing, right? They obviously got the same call. So it was great. We did a show for the president, and I've done a lot in my life. And then 13 years in Las Vegas. When I got to the gig in Las Vegas, they told me that I was going to play the Gold Nugget, and I was like, really? But it worked out for me. I mean, we sold out every night for 2 years, and I did 500 seats a night. Every single night we sold out. And then for the next 13 years, I had a great time. The greatest time of my entire life has been here, and I've made millions of dollars. I have 2 beautiful houses, and everything came crashing. Down when I was told I had a year to live. It's not a joke. So, I'm dealing with that right now. I promised I wasn't going to cry, but it's very scary. And my heart is failing. My wife would have said it failed long ago, but it does actually failing for real. I can't do shows anymore because my legs lock up and my hands lock up, and that's kind of shitty for a magician to go on stage going, for my next trick. So, if I take this medication, I was told that it might help out, but I'm going to tell you something, even though I'm sad about it. I've got a beautiful wife.
Right here, baby.
I just got married. Made sure she signed a prenup. Just so I know she loves me. But anyway, I retired. I don't do shows anymore. I did my last shows at the Magic Castle. My friends came out, Penny, Sophie, Erica, my wife. These are the girls that worked with me for the 20 years I was doing magic. They worked with me. So don't feel sorry for me because I've had the best, most incredible life that you could have. I really have. I've had just everything that I've ever wanted, I got. And there's a lot to be said for devil worship. No. None of the things I own, the 25 classic cars and all the stuff I thought was so fucking cool means nothing to me now. In fact, if you want one, talk to me after the show. I got my affairs in order, and that's it. Thank you all very much for coming out. Peace. I'll see you on the other side.